The PBY Catalina is essentially a two-engine aircraft. It is an aircraft that was designed for a patrol bomber marine, obviously, because it was amphibious. It would land as a boat, would get in close to shore. Then sailors, looking like they're in bathing suits, would wade out in the water and pull it up to the ramp. And as it came up the ramp, they would attach detachable wheels to the side, and then it could be brought up onto the ramp and circumambulate all the way to whatever hangar was going to be used. So the PBY Catalina at the beginning of the war had pretty lethal capabilities. It was carrying some pretty heavy armament, but it was slow, at only going 124 miles an hour approximately, and not able to maneuver very much. The War Department was thinking they were going to be pretty obsolete. But what they discovered was a kind of obscure story about the Battle of Midway. They armed several Catalinas with torpedoes and those heavy bombs, and also put radar on them. Radar wasn't something that was generally used in aviation, but these planes were equipped, and they were told that there's some place out there, top secret, that we knew that the Japanese fleet was out there. Go find them. So they took off, and using radar, they actually found elements of the fleet, torpedoed a couple ships, and got back. Now, this didn't have a huge impact on the Battle of Midway. It's not the big story of, destroying the aircraft carriers that had attacked Pearl Harbor months before, but it showed command that radar was a great way to attack ships, because the reason the PBYs were so vulnerable was in daylight, they were slumbering towards you at a very slow speed. But if it's at night and they can't see you, you can sort of sneak up on them, and your torpedoes are away before they even realize you're there. So this is how they became extremely important, very effective. On December 7th, 1941, the Japanese attack plan called for the elimination of the PBY force here on Oahu, both at Kaneohe Bay and Ford Island. The Japanese hated this plane. They were the eyes and ears of the fleet. The Japanese knew we had major planes like that here. Their primary targets to begin the prosecution of the attack on the fleet here was to wipe out any possibility of a PBY getting off the ground and going and finding their fleet. PBY as a target for that day stands up as a very important part of history. When we get our PBY, it'll be restored here in '79, and as we're restoring it and putting it together, it'll be right out front of the hangar here in '79, which is exactly where the PBYs were serviced at the time. This aircraft is extremely important to our story. It tells the story of the main reason why the Japanese were attacking that day at Ford Island. And now it's incumbent on us to tell this very important story about the PBY and its contributions to the Pacific. It's kind of a homecoming for the PBY to its most important base, or at least historically significant base at the beginning of the war. Our PBY will not only be a testament to its history here and its long history in the war, but also the hearts of all those people, from the manufacturers, the people that riveted, the people that put the fuel into the PBY, that armed it, and waved goodbye to these crews as they went out. Their hearts went with them because they put their hard work and souls in it. The legacy of this aircraft brings us to the current day, and the journey our museum is about to undertake, and a monumental one at that. A legendary PBY Catalina has been acquired by the Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum, and together we can ensure that the stories of the PBY are told at Pearl Harbor. The generosity of our supporters has already propelled us forward, providing us with the funds to transport the historic aircraft from the National Naval Aviation Museum in Pensacola, Florida, to us here on Ford Island, Hawaii. Now, we embark on the next phase, the restoration of this warbird. Once the aircraft arrives, the real work lies ahead, thousands of hours of restoration and conservation, where every detail will be brought back to life. To achieve this mission, we must ask you for your help once again. The restoration efforts done by our team in-house will cost over $500,000. Your gift, no matter what the size, will make an impact and enable us to honor the World War II veterans whose stories illuminate the significant role the PBY played during World War II. Please visit the link on the screen or in the description to learn more about how you can contribute. Together, we can preserve history and share the stories of those who have sacrificed so much so that they are not forgotten. We thank you for your support.